Friday from 3:05 to 4 on 14 WILI and 95.3 FM. It's the Friday Sports Scene with Keith and Koivisto. Talking local sports every Friday, getting you ready for the weekend and what lies ahead. High school sports, UConn, ECSU, and more. The Friday Sports Scene with Keith and Koivisto is brought to you by your local Dunkin' stores. Route 32 South Windham, 1015 Main Street, Willimantic, 1575 West Main Street, and 407 Jackson Street. The Friday Sports Scene. Now, here's Keith C. Rice and Jan Koivisto.
Thank you, Eddie Bishop. Welcome into another edition of the Dunkin' Friday Sports Scene. Our brand new show sign that we debuted last week here on 14 WILI, 95.3 FM, and the WILI YouTube channel. You can search for that. We strongly encourage you, search and subscribe and watch all our great talk shows there. WILI Radio on YouTube. Search it, WILI Radio, subscribe. You can watch the Dunkin' Friday Sports Scene, as I said, along with our other great talk shows. Here we go, the December 19th edition. I'm looking outside because this is an absolutely weird weather day, but it is New England. It's like upper 50s and raining with some crazy winds. Raise your hand if you're without power at home right now. My hand's up.
I think I'm all set. I think we're all set, but I'll know better when I get home.
I was fine at lunch. Earlier, I think we lost power. My dogs were like a mess, so I'm letting them out. And they're still, I think I must have lost power in the late stages of the morning. I was getting text messages. Good news, I had power at lunch. I come back here, and I think we're out of power, so fingers crossed. But yeah, it's just a crazy weather day. Wasn't it like 17 degrees earlier in the week?
Crazy. New England. Just wait a minute, it'll change, right?
Wait a minute, what are you doing here, Jan Koivisto?
Well, I'm 2-0, so I figured I'd stop in. If I was 1-1 or 0-2, you might not see me until the end of the season.
Are you fighting a little cold too? You sound a little congested.
Yeah, kind of all week. I don't. That's the thing about coaching hoop now. Like, I'm going to games at night and stuff, so it's been some long days. So I feel like okay, but definitely been fighting it for about a week.
Well, hey, we're all going through stuff. In fact, I was just saying right before the mics went on and the camera went on that the last time the three of us were together, we're bringing Nick Erlinson here on the show. He's doing a great job. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
Last time all three of us were sitting here, knock on wood, I had a very bad coughing attack. I've been dealing with something for about a month now, on and off. Second round of meds. I had an upper respiratory. So, yeah, things are getting better now, but I could not, ever since the middle of November, so it's been about a month straight, and my wife has it now too, just nonstop coughing. We feel fine, no fevers, none of that, but there's some crazy crap going around. So, all right, here we go. This will be the final show until we're not going to have a show next week since it's the day after Christmas. So this is the last show of 2025, and here we go, the Dunkin' Friday Sports Scene for December 19th. Let's start with the rundown here. The Wyndham High boys dropped their season opener, unfortunately, at home to Stonington last night, 53-39. Anden Gonzalez led the Whips with 15. Next up for Wyndham will be tomorrow at home against East Lyme at 2:30. Wyndham girls are off to a surprising 0-2 start, falling to Stonington 66-52 back on Tuesday. They'll attempt to get their first win of the season tonight at Bacon Academy at 6. Former Wyndham girls standout, Jaylise Rivera made news this week, already contributing to the Nichols basketball team with 5 points, 4 assists, and a win over Mitchell this week. Way to go, Jaylise. Wyndham Tech boys basketball visits Pomperog. Did I say that right? Pomperog?
You got that right.
Tonight at 7 for their opener. Good luck to the Wyndham Tech boys and Coach Gilday, who we'll get on eventually. Our first guest at 3:15 will be Wyndham Tech Athletic Director Billy O'Connor. Also a good friend, and we'll get a season preview of both the boys and the girls. Wyndham Tech girls are 1-1 with a win over Old Saybrook and a loss to East Granby. E.O. Smith boys basketball fell to Middletown. We had Jeff Belanger on last week. They'll be all right, the Panthers. They fell to Middletown 73-68. Smith next plays Monday night at Simsbury. Do we have something on the E.O. Smith girls? Do you know anything?
I believe they lost their first game. I think they were they had a rough year last year, which they usually have been pretty good, and I think they were supposed to be a little improved this year with a lot back. But I want to say they won like 6 games last year.
Okay.
So, but I think this year they're expecting to get back to where they used to be.
Great. I know you're on top of the girls' basketball scene, being the coach at Plainfield. We're going to get into that in just a sec. Coventry boys beat Suffield 54-49. They're 2-0. And as Jan and myself were talking about before the show, Coventry girls, usually a powerhouse, off to a 3-0 start. They also beat Suffield. Lyman boys open up at Bacon on Tuesday night. Lyman girls beat Ellis Tech 43-42. They're 1-1. They lost to Plainfield.
Yes.
The Jan Koivisto led playing field team. So that was one of your 2-0. So that was one of your wins, huh?
Yeah. Coach Lopez has done such a great job there through the years, but he lost two seniors. His daughter, who was one of the studs, 1,000-point scorer. So he's a little down this year. He beat Ellis Tech the other night, but we were just better than them. But you know what? His kids played hard the whole time. We took control early, but they did not back down. They kept coming at us. So they're going to have, I think, a little bit of a tough year, but he's going to keep them plugging away.
All right. Fifth-ranked UConn men traveling to Chicago to play DePaul on Sunday. We'll have that game for you at 4 on WILI. Top-ranked UConn women meet 11th-ranked Iowa tomorrow at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn in the Champions Classic. That'll be a 12:30 game airtime on WILI tomorrow. Excuse me. The UConn men beat Butler 79-60 on Tuesday night in their Big East opener. In Hartford, the women rolled over Marquette 89-53 on Wednesday. I'm going to go on record and say, I'll knock on wood for all you UConn fans. I think you guys will probably agree with me. It's probably a safe bet. And I'm going to ask Dave Davis, too, our second guest. I think the UConn women are running the table this year. I can't see anybody beating them.
It almost seems impossible. I was thinking about Notre Dame with Hidalgo, and if Olivia Miles had stayed, she's killing it at TCU. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but she's like 20 points a game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. But if they had that backcourt with Hidalgo and Miles, maybe they'd give them a game. But it's I don't think we're going to see it until the tournament.
Can anybody give them a game? That's a great point. So Dave Davis will be our second guest on the London Day. He'll talk Husky hoops with us at 3:35. Congrats to UConn football star wide receiver Skylar Bell. First Husky in program history to be named AP First Team All-American. Huskies playing the Fenway Bowl Saturday, December 28th against Army. Speaking of college football, the CFP first round starts tonight. The 9-8 game, Alabama and Oklahoma. That game will be in Norman, Oklahoma. NFL, Pats coming off a tough loss. Finally getting over that. 21-0. They blew a 21-0 lead at home, up 24-7 at the half. But you're facing Josh Allen. You can't get that excited. I was the stupid one and got really excited. Even posted something on Facebook and immediately took it down once the Bills had the momentum in the second half. And, the Bills won 35-31. But I still feel pretty good about Drake, man, where the Pats have been. Big one Sunday night in Baltimore against Jan's shaky Ravens. But, I could see the Pats playing well and losing by like a field goal.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have to pretty much win out because they're a game behind the Steelers, and they play the Steelers the last game, but they need to beat them by a game because the Steelers got the division and conference tiebreaker. So they're going to have to figure it out. They kind of got to win out, and I expect them to play real well.
The Patriots are in a better position. They could lose Sunday night in Baltimore and still win the AFC East because they should beat the Jets in Miami. Giants host Minnesota, and the Jets are in New Orleans, for those who care. Celtics host the Heat in the NBA tonight, finally back in action. The Knicks back home for Philly after winning the, excuse me while I roll my eyes, the NBA Cup. The NBA Cup.
They seem to care, though.
Let me get quickly. I want to get both of you. Let's start with Nick. Do you, if you're a Knicks fan, you're not a Knicks fan, obviously, right?
No.
Would you say you were a Knicks fan? Would you want your team to raise a banner for the mid-season NBA Cup? That's not even mid-season.
No,
really.
not for mid-season. I didn't even think the Lakers should have raised the bubble. Banner.
You could make a case for that, but the NBA Cup. What do you think, Jan?
They seem to care about it. The colors of the courts and stuff hurt my eyes, so it's hard for me to watch. But the players seem kind of into it. So
I did watch a little. The Knicks Spurs was a good matchup. I'm an NBA fan. I'll watch a little. And I will say this: I'm not a New York fan. I'll never root for a New York team. But the Knicks did a good thing. I heard they gave their earnings from winning the NBA Cup to a lot of the MSG employees and stuff.
Yeah,
it was a nice thing.
It's fine. Let's leave it at it's fine, right? We don't really care, but it's fine.
We're sports fans. We're gonna watch. Just as bad as we were about the college football playoff. Nick and I were talking about that last week. Guess what? You can be ticked off all you want. We're still going to watch. It's the holidays. I'll tune in for Alabama, Oklahoma tonight. We may fall asleep halfway through, but no. Okay, big thanks to our local Dunkin' stores. The $6 meal deal, bacon jam sandwiches. Hold on, Matt Rupar. I got to ask you something. Big thanks to our local Dunkin' stores. The $6 meal deal, the bacon jam sandwiches, berry sangria refreshers made primarily with green tea and lemonade. Route 32 South Wyndham. Hello to Caitlin, Jazz, and Emily. Saw them in the drive-thru today. I got my, what did I get today? I got the the signature latte, the peppermint. There we go. The peppermint signature latte in honor of the holidays. Willimantic stores, 1015 Main Street, Willimantic, 1575 West Main Street, 407 Jackson Street. Thank you to Duncan for sponsoring the Friday Sports Scene. And, of course, which follows the Duncan Friday Sports Scene would be Homegrown with the one and only J. Matt Rupar. What's the what can we expect after 4 o'clock today?
So I got this guy, Bill Ludwig, and he's going to be singing a song, Seasons Change. I think it'll be appropriate since winter's coming, so.
Okay, all right.
I mean, this lady, Amber Weinstock, with her song Laundry. It's always a good one. Yeah. I'll play it off.
Okay. Well, the Seasons Change thing, you just made me think of the Expose song from the 80s that Wayne plays all the time. Seasons Change. In fact, I passed him walking down the hallway. Seasons Change was playing, and of course, he's a big weather guy. So, it's the reason why he always plays. He goes, no, this was on the log, I swear. But anyway. So, okay, look for J. Matt Rupar, our fine producer extraordinaire. He's the host of Homegrown. Follows the Duncan Friday Sports Scene every Friday at 4:05 here on WILI. And, of course, you can check out Homegrown on the YouTube channel, too, right? Search WILI Radio. All right, so coming up in just a sec. It's 3:15 already. We're going to connect with our guest. Thanks, Matt. We're going to get him on the line. Bill O'Connor, the AD from Wyndham Tech. But, Nick, how's your week been going?
Not too bad.
What's new? What's new with Nick Erlinson?
Not much. I wrote a couple articles for my...
Go ahead, plug that, by the way. Where can you...
On New Leaf News, I wrote a 3-part article about John Cena's failed farewell tour. They did a lot of stuff wrong, in my opinion, and I wanted to write about it. So,
where can people go look for that?
newleafnews.com.
All right, we got to start plugging that. Very good. Hey, some sad news before we get to our guest here in the sports world. Greg Biffle. Did you guys hear about that? The race car driver. It was an accident, right?
Yeah, I'm working on an article about that as well.
Okay. Passed away in a very bad car accident, right?
Plane crash.
I'm sorry, it was a plane crash, yes. So our thoughts and prayers to the Biffle family. Big NASCAR driver for years, correct? Okay.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
Oh, I know you're a big NASCAR guy. Okay. All right, 3:15 on the Duncan, 3:16 now, the Duncan Friday Sports Zones. Welcoming our first guest here. I haven't talked to him in quite some time, but we catch up via text message every now and then. The athletic director at Wyndham Tech, Bill O'Connor. Do we call you Billy or Bill?
Depends on who you are. Marty, those guys have known me since I was a little kid, so it's been Billy, but as an adult, it's Bill. You can call me either one. It really doesn't matter, because I got people that call me both of them.
Well, we'll get to the man Marty, who you just mentioned, because we're going to do a little background here on Bill O'Connor. We got Nick Erlinson here and the Chronicles' Jan Koivisto along with me. And thanks for a few minutes, Bill, on the Duncan Friday Sports Scene. He's the AD at Wyndham Tech. But tell us a little about where you grew up and where you played ball. You started on the baseball team at Lyman, correct?
Yes, I did. I'm actually a Navy brat, and I have lived all over the East Coast. I've lived in South Carolina, Virginia, Florida. But we got transferred back up to Connecticut my sophomore year, and we lived in Lebanon. So I started playing baseball for Marty in 1993.
Marty Gomez, yeah.
And played baseball for him, and then got into coaching with him. And then in 2003, 2004, 2005, I started baseball and basketball at Wyndham Tech. And I've been there ever since.
And how long have you been AD there again?
2 years.
Okay. And you stepped into that role. Who'd you replace again? Who was the AD? It was Belanger, right?
No, it was Elizabeth Sheff.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, so you got any fond memories? How many you played? Name some of the players you played baseball with at Lyman before we get into the Wyndham Tech boys and girls.
Well, I played with Jason Chaveras, Jamie Smart, Adam Murphy, Brandon Hanfield, Peter Okonuck, who passed away. Yeah. I can't exactly remember how long ago because it's been forever, but those are the guys that we played with. Jason and I were on the 93 state tournament finals team, and then Jamie, me, Brandon, Hanfield, Adam Murphy, we were all part of the 95 state finals team.
So you just said 93 state finals and 90. So you went to the state finals twice in your 4 years playing Lyman baseball, huh?
Yeah.
And
we were, back then, in the early to mid-'90s, into the early 2000s, we were a force to be reckoned with. We had really good baseball players.
Heck of a team. I remember I had the chance to go to a UConn football game with you guys. I was telling Jan and Nick this earlier, and we had a blast. I just sat back and enjoyed all the stories. But it's great to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, we got stories for days.
Coach, and seeing Coach Gomez for the first for me, I hadn't seen him in years, so it was great to catch up with him, and we definitely all got to get together and do that again sometime. But back to 2025 as we head into 2026, let's talk some Wyndham Tech boys and girls basketball. Let's start with the boys. Give us a little. What can we expect from the Wyndham Tech boys basketball team this year, 25-26?
I think we lost a lot last year after our league tournament championship win. We lost a lot of really good players. Horacio, he was a three-point threat anywhere on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
He had Steph Curry range. So we lost a lot with him. But I think we can fight for a title again this year. I think Luke is a great X's and O's coach. He's great with the kids. I think he will get these kids dialed in, and I think we could possibly win our division and possibly win the league tournament again this year. We have Colby Dunnick, who is I refer to him in my own little world as the conductor of that basketball team. He has such a high basketball IQ.
Yeah.
He kind of just runs the floor. When the ball's in his hand, he sees that entire floor. Kind of like Bird, real smart. And then you got Brady Marsh, who he's that high flyer, that run and gun kid who's really talented, physically talented at basketball.
Those were your big three last year. I went to one of your playoff games there. Correct me, was it the quarterfinals or the semis? I'm trying to remember the game I was at, and that was the game where they shut down Horacio. And I'm good friends with Rich and Chris, his parents there. And then I think they took Horacio out, but you mentioned Marsh and Dunnick had good games. And by the way, AJ's a big fan of the Duncan Friday sports scene. He won UConn tickets with us a couple weeks ago. But so big shout out to AJ. But yeah, I mean, you got Dunnick and Marsh still, so those are still two solid pieces,
Yeah, and then we've got a young man, Jameson Zudaleski, I think his last name. I know I'm butchering his last name. I'm terrible with names. But he was the kid that got the huge steal with like 10 seconds left in our league finals to seal the deal for us to beat out of Tech last year.
That's the game I was at. The conference final, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, and he stepped up huge in that game and got a huge steal at the end of the game to solidify the win. So he's back, and he's going to get some serious varsity minutes this year. So I think he's going to help us out a lot.
I want to ask you a little bit about, I'm looking at the history here, and Wyndham Tech boys, 9 years in a row, double-digit wins. The girls, 6 years in a row, double-digit wins. You guys kind of, I think, fly under the radar a little bit because Wyndham's had a couple state title runs. What's the secret sauce for you guys that you're so consistently good in hoop and on both sides?
Well, we fly under the radar because we get disrespected because we're a tech school. If we were a public school, we wouldn't fly under the radar. Because we play some very tough competition in our league and out of our league. And it's just the dedication of the kids. The kids come in and they buy in to what Luke says. They bought into what Jeff and I, because Jeff and I were the coaches before. They bought into what we said. They worked hard. I got to give the credit to the kids.
So the boys open up tonight against Pomperog. Reason why we couldn't get Coach Gilday, so we settled for O'Connor. I'm kidding, Bill. I was gonna get you on. I was gonna get you on eventually. But so, what year is this for Coach for Luke again? Coach Gilday. What year?
This will be his third year.
Third year. Okay. So the game it's at Pomperog. By the way, somebody help me out. Where's Pomperog again?
Southbury.
Southbury.
Yeah.
Is it really? I didn't know it was over there. Wow. Okay, so what do you know about Pomperog? I don't mean to put you on the spot, Bill. I mean, what?
I know absolutely nothing about Pomperog. I know they play in a tough league, and that's about all I know.
Okay. Let's talk a little about jump over to the girls. You guys had another question about the boys? We can always go back.
Well, I was just going to kind of give a shout out. He's got a Koiva on both staffs. Pete Koiva does on the boys' side, and Claudia Koiva, who I love to see, a young coach, played at Eastern, played at Wyndham Tech.
Yeah.
You want to say anything about that family?
Yeah, they are a basketball family. Pete is the ringleader of their basketball family. He does a great job with our freshman team. His oldest daughter, coached JV boys basketball at Parish Hill against me years ago.
Huh, wow.
His son played for me and Jeff, and then now his daughter played for Tech. She is the all-time leading scorer in both boys and girls, I believe.
Wow.
Awesome family.
Yeah, they're a great family. Really excited for Claudia to be on board because, playing for us and playing at Eastern, she has a plethora of basketball knowledge that she can really hand down to these girls. So I'm really excited to have her on board.
Wyndham Tech girls are Bill O'Connor, the athletic director of Wyndham Tech, with us here on the Duncan Friday Sports Scene on WILI. Wyndham Tech girls 1-1. They beat Old Saybrook, lost to East Granby. Tell us a little about the 25-26 Wyndham Tech girls.
Well, we have a first-year coach, Jimmy Edinger. He's our football coach, and he was the assistant basketball coach for years. Mo Hassan moved on to go to Norwich Tech to coach freshman boys or something over there. So he stepped up and took the head job, and he's doing a really good job with a very, very young team. We had some girls decide that they didn't want to play basketball this year, some returning girls. So he has two girls, Emmy Osberger, who's a sophomore. I believe she's a sophomore, and Kira Bussey, who's a senior, are the only two girls that have a lot of varsity experience. Of the other girls that are starting varsity came off the bench, but weren't necessarily starters. So they're a very young team. He's doing a great job. I think in our league, we will do just fine. Out of league, I think we're going to struggle a little bit this year, but I think that's a good thing. It'll teach these girls a little adversity and how to deal with that and get better every day.
Now, the Chronicles' Jan Koivisto, part of the show on the Duncan Friday Sports Scene, he happens to be in this week. Otherwise, he's on his 3-month coaching hiatus here because he's the head coach of the Plainfield girls.
We scrimmage Wyndham Tech.
So you scrimmage Wyndham Tech?
Yeah, and you hit it on the head. I mean, they plugged away. Kira, I've known for years, and her father is also a basketball guy. He coaches middle school at Ashford. But they busted. They busted against us. I got a lot of size and athleticism. They did not stop playing. And that will bode well for league play. I think you got that right.
Yeah, you're right. They were getting beat pretty good against East Granby, and those girls just didn't give up. At the end of I'm not trying to embarrass them, but we were down 24-1 at the end of the first quarter.
Wow. Ooh.
And we cut it to. I think we got beat by 20 points at the end of the game. So, I mean, the girls just don't quit. They don't have a quitting bone in their body. They're such good young ladies. They work hard. I can't say anything negative about them. They are just a great group of girls.
No, and your coaches were very patient with them, and they're teaching skills, and the good players will carry the day, I think, once you hit league play especially.
Yeah.
That's important when you're a coach, and Jan knows this, being a coach of a girls' basketball team. Same can go for boys too. When you're getting killed, like I don't know, Bill, what'd you say, 24-1 was the score?
Yeah.
You got as a coach, you got to try and keep these kids motivated in the game. You know, I mean,
the next play.
Yeah,
the next play.
Yeah, they could easily look at the scoreboard and go, "Oh, forget this." But I mean, that's an important part. I've never been a coach, but it's what do you exactly the next play? Is that what
you got to tell them the next play, and there is unevenness in some of the leagues, and I do think it is more prevalent on the girls' side, but it does happen on the boys' side. But even in the Eastern Connecticut Conference, I'm going to play Woodstock later in the year, and they're going to compete for a state title. That's going to be a tough matchup for us. So you have that, you got to keep playing, and you just got to keep getting better.
Bill, before we let you go, one last thing I want to let you out on this, and Nick brought this up, I think, right? I think he brought to my attention, are you still coaching Wyndham Tech baseball?
Yes, I am.
All right, I know it's not baseball season, but what year will this be for you going into Wyndham Tech, for coaching Wyndham Tech baseball?
22.
Oh,
and a lot of success there, too. That's another team that I think wins double digits every year and is making state tournament after state tournament.
Yeah. There was a few years where there were some issues that I only had like 18 kids, and I went like 3 or 4 years without making the state tournament.
Wow.
And then, in schools, sports, there's ebbs and flows, and we were in an ebb there and for a while, and then now we're back in to where we're competing against every school we play, and making the state tournament every year.
Well, you had a 19-win season one year. That's got to be a school record, I would think, right?
I believe so.
Well,
yeah.
That's incredible. I forgot it's coming up on 22 years, and what an incredible run you had as baseball coach. So, all credit to you with that. And I can't wait to get you on around baseball season, too. That'll be fun.
Yep.
All right,
it will be fun.
Thanks for a few minutes. I know you're busy. Athletic director and longtime head baseball coach at Wyndham Tech, Bill O'Connor. Thanks for a few minutes, Bill.
Awesome, Bill. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.
You too. All right, there he goes, the AD at Wyndham Tech. Good luck to the boys basketball team as they visit Pomperaug in their season opener tonight at 7. All right, on the other side, we'll chat. Maybe we'll before we get Dave Davis on the line, we'll talk. I know I got Nick's opinion on him. The college football playoff kicks off tonight.
Yeah.
Alabama, Oklahoma. Yeah.
I think tonight's gonna be a close game, but a bad game. It's gonna probably be low scoring, but I'm not into it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are turned off by it too. All right, so Dave Davis from the New London Day on the other side. We're going to pause for a quick break. You're listening to the Duncan Friday Sports Scene and watching on WILI. And I'd like to mention that the 2026 WILI Eastern Connecticut weather calendar, if you do pick one up, again, for a great cost, $12 at the Willimantic Food Co-op, when you see the cover of the brand new 2026 weather calendar, that's my picture.
Oh, is
the
it?
Frog Bridge sunset that I took, I don't know, it was like in July, just on a random Friday. I couldn't believe Wayno surprised me. Oh, my God, that's my picture. So
I have a calendar.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Wayno drop one off to me.
I'll be happy to autograph it for you. I'm kidding.
Maybe I'll have to do it. I'll bring it in next time.
But it's a great stocking stuffer, as Wayne says. So pick one up if you can at the Willimantic Food Co-op for only $12. All right, back on the Duncan Friday Sports Scene. Let's bring in our next guest. Thank you, J. Matt Rupar. I just saw him last night. He was the co-winner of our ugly sweater contest at Trolley Pub for Trolley Pub Trivia. Let's give it up for the New London Days, Dave Davis. How are you, Dave?
I've already destroyed the shirt.
Wait, what was that?
I've already destroyed the sweater.
I saw the picture on Facebook, and it kind of made me cringe. You deserve to win.
It was as ugly as it looked.
Great to see you every Thursday night, and thanks for supporting Trolley Pub Trivia. Always great to catch up, and glad we could finally get you on the Duncan Friday Sports Team. We got, as you can hear, the Chronicles, Jan Koivisto, Nick Erlinson here. We're going to talk a little UConn hoops, but I understand from what Jan told me earlier in the week that you covered Jan back in the day, correct?
That shows his age.
I did, back when he was a strapping young athlete at Plainfield High School, yes.
I think that may be the only time I was ever called strapping in my life. But
that was a strapping coach.
A tall, thin, lanky athlete.
Well, he wasn't just a good basketball player. He was a very good baseball player as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he played baseball, too.
Tried to do it all, Better at basketball.
Could Jan dunk back in the day? Could you dunk?
Not until college.
Oh, not until college.
No.
How tall are you?
6'3", but,
okay.
I really wasn't that athletic. I was just, a little bit of court awareness and all that. And, as Dave knows, I had a terrific coach. And Bob.
He had a terrific coach, and Jan could score. Jan was a scorer. I mean, you give the ball to Jan, you got some points.
What did you average in high school?
We lost in the state semifinals, so I mean, what I average, I don't even really know. I did not score 1,000 points.
Yeah, but you must remember you're like junior, senior, what you averaged, 15, 16 points a game?
I scored 997 points in my career.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You missed 1,000?
State semifinals, what are you going to do?
I didn't know you were that close.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to give you the ball one more time.
It was the state semis. You got to try to win the game. I was devastated we lost. I didn't even know at that point, where I finished. I knew I was close, but I didn't know where I finished.
Were you a double-double machine?
Jan played so long ago there were no three-pointers in high school.
Yeah. Well, you covered me, so that makes you even a little older, just for the record.
Oh, yeah, no.
And last time I saw Dave, unfortunately, was at Bob Aramoni's funeral. He told me he was about to retire in a couple months, but yet now he's still here.
Well, he's still here, and now I'm eligible to retire, but I may not, because as you know, once you get the newspaper business in your blood, you kind of hang out for a while.
There you go.
Kind of like the radio business. All right, so
it's funny. Jen and I ended up talking about newspapers more than basketball.
Oh man, I'm sure you guys got stories about that too. But let's talk a little UConn Huskies. We'll start with the men. Impressive Big East opening win against Butler in Hartford back on Tuesday night, 79-60. I think we kind of expected that, right, Dave, to roll over Butler?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, the Big East, as good as UConn and St. John's are, there's a big drop-off after those two. So UConn is in pretty good shape because St. John's and UConn are clearly the cream of the crop.
It's a good point, and we talked about last week how UConn St. John's is going to be a lot of fun. But again, I haven't, and I do follow the Big East. I'm an old school Big East guy too, as probably some of you guys are. And Seton Hall's been kind of playing a little bit better. Again, I know it's early. They're playing some cupcake teams. St. John's, who plays at Kentucky tomorrow, they're off. Again, we're seeing a lot of this in college basketball. And UConn's a prime example. They're playing decent competition. So St. John's, to their credit, has played some good teams, but they got about, 3 or 4 losses?
They got 3 losses all to ranked teams. I don't think they've beat a ranked team. Seton Hall did beat a lower-ranked NC State, I think. I got a UConn question, though, and I'm going to be maybe a little hyperbole here, but I think this might be Hurley's best team. Do you think so, Dave?
They're really deep, Jan. I mean, they've got 9 deep, which most teams don't have, and I mean, they've got all 9 guys have got 5 points a game or more, and I mean, there's some younger kids behind them. So, I mean, if you can go 10, 11 deep, he's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Jan, you guys bring up a good point. This team does, the Malachi Smith kid coming off the bench who played at Dayton, he's going to help. He can pass. He plays defense. This team it could be one of. Hurley's been there how many years now? 6, 7, 8 years.
He's got 2 titles, so that's why it might be a little hyperbole. But Mullins is kind of just finding his way. Just finding his way, and
it's as deep of a team as he's had, Jan. I mean, seriously. They've got nobody that, if they get in foul trouble, they don't have another guy that can bring in that can do the job.
And again, going with the 2 bigs like they did for a couple of years there with Samson Johnson, remember last year, but you're seeing some great range from the Eric Ryba kid, the kid from Germany, who's shown he could shoot from the outside. He's been a bit of a surprise early on. It's going to be interesting to see how Ryba plays in the Big East. But, UConn is on the way to Chicago. They'll play DePaul on Sunday. Again, this should be DePaul's not that good. I expect UConn to win this game by at least 10. I haven't done my homework on DePaul, but, I see a win there as well.
Well, I'll tell you, they've got 11 games between now and their first game against St. John's. Both of their St. John's games are at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 11 games before St. John's, and they could easily go 8-3 or 9-2 in those games.
It's a great point. It kind of gets you tuned up for, having St. John's later in the schedule. You play some of these teams that you can beat. And I
don't know if there's a calculated risk this year to play all those good teams early, but I applaud Hurley for doing that. I mean, to get all those teams on the schedule as opposed to playing some of the teams that they traditionally play in November, I mean, much tougher schedule.
Yeah, I think he's played 4 or 5 ranked teams. And his only loss, he didn't have Reed. And Mullins wasn't playing yet.
That's right.
Exactly. I mean, they're seriously as good as anybody in the country. There's no question about that.
With as deep as this team is there one guy that you think doesn't get the credit that he deserves?
I mean, the guy that probably doesn't get the credit he deserves is probably Caravan.
Yeah.
He looks better.
I mean, he's got a chance to win 3 national titles. And, staying for 4 years is a thing most kids don't do anymore now. So, I mean, he's going to go down as one of the greats in program history, and probably nobody thinks of him that way.
It's a great point. Let's talk a little about Alex Caravan for a second. He was in just an awful shooting slump for most of last year, but he's still a great team leader. He has kind of woke up a little this year. He's had some big contributions down the stretch in some games, a block shot, a rebound, or a key jumper. Caravan, you're right, will definitely go down as a very memorable player in UConn basketball history that people may not. Might not be top of mind, but I want to ask either. I'll throw this out to anybody. I'll start with Dave. Can you see Caravan actually doing something in the NBA, or will he be like a lifetime bench player, if that, or will he ever get off the bench?
Yeah, I don't know if he's. I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be an NBA star. Certainly, he could play in the NBA, but I mean, he's one of these guys that could be an overseas player. You just don't know. But I think he's just a really good college player, and that's what the scouts seem to think too. That's why he stayed in school.
Yeah, I think that's true. And he's shooting 43% this year from 3. So I think once he's back to that, that's what makes him so good. And I think he started on both of those title teams too, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely. Yeah. He started right from his freshman year, yeah.
And one former UConn player that's doing quite well as of recently in the NBA is Cam Spencer.
Crazy good.
Holy cow. Crazy. He is just lighting it up from downtown. So, good job, Cam. So the Huskies go to DePaul tomorrow for the men. Again, things don't get really too exciting. The Big East is always fun no matter who you're playing. I'm sure DePaul put up some kind of fight on Sunday afternoon. It's a road game in the Big East. I don't care who you're playing. And Providence will be a little, I'm trying to think of some of the Big East teams. Obviously St. John's. I think Seton Hall, they always give UConn a tough game, especially down in Jersey.
They'll lose a couple.
Villanova,
They'll lose a couple.
Yeah, the difference with the Big East and men's basketball is, all those teams are capable of beating UConn. The women's side, there's like 5 teams that have no chance to ever beat UConn.
Might be more than that.
Great transition.
Yeah, probably.
We were just talking about that earlier. Let's move on to the UConn women. If we got to come back to the men, we will. And again, UConn DePaul for the men, Sunday afternoon at 4 on WILI. Tomorrow at 12:30 on WILI, top-ranked UConn women down in Brooklyn. No, not Brooklyn, Connecticut. Brooklyn, New York, the Barclays Center. They'll take on 11th-ranked Iowa. Ooh, they're taking on number 11 Iowa. Will they hang within at least 15? I mean, it's at a neutral site. Well, actually, come on. Let's face it. It's south.
We talk about deep teams. Gino's team is even deeper than Hurley's team.
Yes.
They've got women who started 2 years ago when they had all the injury problems that are coming off the bench now. I mean, they've got a lot of good players.
You got to start with obviously AZ and Sarah Strong. I mean, talk about you lose Paige and they haven't lost a step at all. I mean, this team might be better than the national championship team, right?
I mean, they've got answers for almost everything. I mean, they've got people that you're watching the game, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about her when she comes off the bench because they're so deep. I mean, Carolyn Ducharme was one of their top players a few years ago. She comes off the bench now.
Do we got a game I can get excited about at any time coming
up? It's tomorrow.
That's
because
it.
After Iowa, the UConn women don't play a ranked team the rest of the season.
I'm not that excited about tomorrow either. I feel like they're just going to take care of business.
Yeah, it's like South.
This is a team that could go undefeated. They're that good.
I've said that a couple times on the air, and again, I'll knock on wood for all our Husky fans. But yeah, let's face it. Let's be real. And I look. I've said this a few times on this very show. Wake me up in March when the Big East tournament started.
Women's basketball has gotten better as far as depth.
It has.
I mean, there used to only be like 10 good teams. Now there's like 30 or 40. But the problem is the good teams in women's basketball are still so much better than the mediocre teams that there's almost no chance of losing half of those games.
Yeah, you're right. The 50th, 60th, 70th men's team can beat a top 10 team. But
exactly.
Yeah, it can't happen.
There's still a big difference there. Yeah, there's still a big difference.
And with all due respect to the talent and the athleticism that these women show, especially on UConn, and what Gino does, he's done such a great job of the program for years. And as a big of a sports fan as I am, I can't sit down and watch an 85-30 game. I can't. And it's just it's so one-sided. It's like, I'm sorry. I'd rather turn off the TV and read a book.
No, if you're one of the walk-ons parents, you might watch that game to see if
absolutely
at the end.
I mean, the good thing to watch about the games is they pass the ball so well; it's unbelievable. Yeah. But But I mean, outside of that, there's just no drama to the games because they're just so much better than the other teams.
But it is fun to watch, even if you tune in a blowout. And don't get me wrong, I tune it in when it is a blowout just to see the dominance and the appreciate what the players that Gino's brought in. It kind of takes you back, makes you reflect. And I do this a lot because, we, the three of us here for the most part, I know Nick's a little bit younger. We grew up when UConn men and women were doormats in the Big East. I mean, I remember Wayno was bringing me into the
I grew up
fieldhouse.
when they were in the Yankee Conference.
I remember the Yankee Conference. Kathy Beauchene from Plainfield was in the Yankee Conference.
Kathy was the first really good player from Connecticut that stayed home and played for the UConn women.
She left the program as their all-time leading scorer. She's now been passed by 70 girls.
Exactly, yeah.
But she left as the all-time leading scorer.
I remember interviewing her before a game her senior year at the Fieldhouse, and it was a half hour before the game, and we're just sitting in the stands talking. I knew Kathy pretty well back in the day, and it was like, you can't do that now. I mean, there's nobody else in the gym, and it's a half hour before the game, and we're talking.
I'm sorry, as good as as living in the state of Connecticut, we're very happy for the men and the women have done so much. This is a basketball state, obviously. But Dave brings up a good point. You look back going, man, remember just walking into the field house anybody could get a ticket, you'd sit anywhere. Wayno brought me as like an 8th grader into the field. I'd carry his briefcase. I could sit press row with Wayno and watch UConn play UMass. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
And we loved it back then, too. The Yankee Conference we thought was great when it was going on.
And in football, too. The football conference.
Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
That's right. I wonder if football ever gets back.
It's not even there anymore.
Unbelievable. So, all right. Well, in the last few minutes here, we got with Dave Davis here talking a little UConn hoops. Actually, you got any more Jan stories for us before we wrap things up?
I'll tell you in a couple of years, maybe the Plainfield girls can take on UConn in the scrimmage because Jan will get that. He'll get his alma mater on the map. He will. Jan's been coaching for a long time now. I mean, Jan was on a really good coaching staff at Ellis Tech back in the 90s.
Oh, really? Tell us about this.
Jan's been doing AAU forever. So, I mean, his alma mater's in good hands with him taking over the program.
Well, I learned from Bob Aramoni, and my good friend Steve Repose and I coached at Ellis Tech before they were able to really ever win games, and we just busted and did what we could to get better.
No, you did, and you guys made that program better because it was awful when you got there, and you were one of the QVC top teams by the time you were done.
I thought he was going to tell the story or remind them of this. Maybe he didn't want to embarrass me, but I'm going to embarrass myself. We beat Windham Tech in the QVC final. Larry Slyman dropped 46 points on our head. We beat him, though. And I believe, my mother or my sister called you the next day because you wrote an article that gave him too much credit? Do I have that right?
Yes, I do. I do recall that. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Come on.
The Koivisto household was not.
Over the years, I've gotten many calls like that, so it's not unusual.
The Koivisto household was none too happy. I mean, I was given the MVP and stuff, and Dave always wrote glowingly about me, but I didn't even know that until he told me. I want to say he told me about a decade later because I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, it happened. It happened a lot back in the day. The only good thing about declining newspaper readership is I get less complaints now.
Hey, it was always a big deal growing getting your name in the paper. You got a couple hits in baseball, or you scored 12. Yeah,
we used to wait.
Well, I was lucky. I went from playing sports my senior year to writing the next year, so I took everything seriously because I did know what you said just now. It's such an important thing to see. Credit for what you did. And I always try to remember, even now, that, like, for that kid, it's really special, even though it's just something you're putting in the paper the next morning.
Absolutely. Dave Davis in the London Day, thank you so much, buddy. And I guess I'll see you next Thursday night at Trolley Pub Trivia, right?
All right. Good to see you, Keith. Nice talking to you, Jan.
All right, Dave. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right. There he goes, Dave Davis from the London Day. Little UConn hoops reflecting on Jan Koivisto's career.
So it's kind of funny because I often will joke about the kids I coached when I first started coaching. I'm only a few years older than me. Dave covered me, but he's probably less than 5 years older than me, about 5 years older.
Sure, yeah.
So I didn't realize he started right out of high school.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's not that much older than us. I mean, no doubt. He's still got plenty of years in the tank. He does a great job, and it's great to see him every Thursday night, pretty much at Trolley Pub Trivia. But all right, we got a few minutes left here. What we're going to do is we usually, past few weeks, we've had my two cousins doing Backlach. Last week we had Jeff Bennett doing Bennett's Best Bet. Both haven't been doing too well. So I think they're kind of kind of back it off a little, going back into the lab, I guess, and getting more. They're very good at what they do, but Jeff's been very busy this past week, so we can't do a Bennett's best bet. But I think we're going to start rotating a third person into the mix. Me and this guy go way back. We played Willimantic Little League Baseball together. We went through middle school together. Ronnie Adams, a Willimantic native. Actually, you might remember this name, Jan, because we that short-lived sports bar show I did. We did a little feature at the end called the RA Parlay.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yes. So I dialed up Ronnie yesterday and said, let's bring back the RA Parlay for the Duncan Friday sports scene.
The night I did it, you did the sports show for a few times. The night I did it, his son called in.
That's right. His son joined us. Joined us live on set. So we have Ronnie himself voicing the RA Parlay. So after we play this, we'll come back and we'll do Nick's pick. We'll get Jan's pick for the week from our quick picks. And now we're going to hear RA Parlay.
What up, Eastern Connecticut? Willie native, Ronnie Adams here, better known as RA Parlay. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I believe in revenge games, so I got the Bears plus 2.5 over the Green Bay Packers. Also got the Vancouver Canucks under 3.5 goals against the New York Islanders. And there you go. Play responsibly. RA Parlay out.
Yeah, he's doing a little NFL and NHL.
Oh, I didn't expect to hear the NFL, NHL mixed in as the parlay. He sounds like a pro. I don't want to give my pick.
Jan's eyes lit up when Ronnie was giving the Canucks and the Islanders.
Awesome.
Yeah, Ronnie digs deep, let me tell you. He'll send me a text every now and then and say, hey, get on this one tonight. And most of the time I give it a shot. And most of the time he nails it. And there's like one time this past week I was just so busy I forgot to check in on it. But big thanks to Ronnie Adams. We'll get him in the mix. Jeff, Andy, and Ronnie wrapping up the show. But let's start with Nick's pick. What's your NFL pick? You got to pick something for us.
I'd like to go and say that the Jacksonville Jaguars will beat the Broncos.
Ooh.
But I'm not going to. So
they're not going to. You calling another Bo Nix comeback or what?
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable with the comeback wins. I really want Denver to lose.
He's kind of been under the radar, right, with some of the other quarterbacks that are kind of ranked ahead of him, but he's been really, really solid in his couple of years.
It's about the quarterback and the coach.
Yeah,
Sean Payton, Bo Nix, Vrabel, Drake May. Anyway, all right, so you're going with Jacksonville losing to Denver.
Yes.
Okay, you got a score?
No, but it's going to be close. Less than a touchdown.
Denver plays close games. They do. What do you got, Jan?
I looked at the slate to try to find the most meaningless game on the slate, and I'm picking the Tennessee Titans at home. I think they're getting 3.5, playing the Chiefs, who I think are just going to cash it in now.
Yeah, who's Gardner Minshew is the backup for Mahomes. So,
and they had a defensive injury or two, I think, too. What are they playing for at this point? They're a Super Bowl team that's going to be watching the playoffs.
And I think, if I get this right, real quick, I know we got to wrap things up. I'm going to do my pick. This is the first year, if I'm not mistaken, since 1998 that there's no Brady, no Manning, or Mahomes in the playoffs. So, and my pick, I'm going with the red-hot Houston Texans. It's a lot of points. I'm taking the minus 14.5, but they're playing one of the worst teams in football. The Giants are right there, too. The Las Vegas Raiders, as the meltdown for Mendoza continues, give me the Texans minus 14.5. So, great to see you, Jan. You slide in here every now and then?
Now and then. Late practices, maybe I can slide in.
All right. And Nick Erlinson, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Big thanks to Billy O'Connor, Dave Davis. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you to J. Matt Rupar, our local Dunkin' stores. Make sure you look for the show on the WILI YouTube channel. Search WILI Radio. Have a great weekend.